Breaking news! What if I told you that one of the most dominant players on the Ravens roster might be plotting a return, and he's not saying it outright? What if every cryptic tweet, every silent pause from the front office, and every whisper behind the scenes was building up to something big? Ravens fans, you've seen the posts. You felt the shift in the air. But what's really going on with Nnamdi Madubuike? We're diving into the clues, the tweets, and the silence, and trust me, by the end of this video, you might just see everything differently. But before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below. We want to hear from you. Let's dive into the clues, the tweets, and the silence, and believe me, by the end of this video, you might see everything differently. But before we begin, don't forget to like if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment "Go Ravens" below. We want to hear your opinion. A few days ago, Nnamdi Madubuike, yes, that Madubuike, one of the most crucial pieces on the Ravens defensive front, sent a tweet that simply read, "Good news." No context, no follow-up, just two words that instantly set Ravens Twitter ablaze. Fans were guessing everything from a contract update to injury recovery to potential retirement reversals. But the silence from team officials? Deafening. Then came another post, this time a little more ominous. Madubuike tweeted, "You either quit or keep going. They both hurt. Choose wisely." And suddenly, that good news tweet started looking a whole lot more layered. Was this a farewell, a comeback hint, or just Madubuike having fun with a fan base starving for clarity? Let's not forget, Madubuike's status has been the subject of serious speculation ever since his neck injury, details of which have been kept tightly under wraps. We've had no press conference updates, no front office confirmation, no definitive ruling, just breadcrumbs. And this is exactly what those tweets feel like, crumbs leading somewhere. But where? Here's where it gets even more interesting. From everything we've seen and heard, not only from the tweets but also from people close to the situation, it does not feel like Madubuike is hinting at retirement. Quite the opposite. His words, though cryptic, don't read like someone walking away. They read like a man in recovery, in transition, in battle mode, especially with that keep-going energy. And when someone of Madubuike's intelligence and awareness says something like that, you better believe it's calculated. This man knows exactly what he's doing. And let's not overlook the timing. The Ravens have been making massive moves on the coaching front lately, beefing up their staff like they're gearing up for war. Why would Madubuike start dropping hints now unless he was connected to this new direction? Now, some fans are wondering whether he's intentionally holding back any kind of big announcement until after the Super Bowl, possibly out of respect for former Ravens defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald, who's now gearing up for a title shot as head coach of the Seahawks. If that's the case, then Madubuike's playing the long game. Let the spotlight stay on Macdonald for now. Let the dust settle. Then, when the time is right, maybe he drops the real bombshell. If that's what he's doing, it's a classy move. But it's also strategic, because when Madubuike does speak, the entire Ravens universe is going to listen. Still, fans are stuck in limbo. The only real updates we've gotten about his status are his tweets. And when that's all we have, we're forced to decode. But everything about the way he's been posting, first with optimism, now with intensity, points to a player who is mentally locked in, who's fighting through something, who's preparing to come back. And the Ravens need him. Make no mistake, this defense without Madubuike, it's just not the same. When he was active, the pressure he applied up the middle was game-changing. Losing that interior push flipped the defense's entire identity. You could see it. You could feel it. No matter how solid the rest of the line was, without Madubuike disrupting the pocket, offenses got comfortable. Quarterbacks had time. And that killed Baltimore's pass rush all season long. Remember, there was a point, asterisk after asterisk his injury, where he was still leading the team in sacks. That's how much of an impact he made before going down. That's how much of a blow his absence really was. Now, pair all of this with the coaching overhaul underway, and the situation becomes even more critical. Jesse Minter is assembling what can only be described as a powerhouse staff. He's pulling names from all across the league, stacking both sides of the ball. Joe Lombardi's been added as a senior offensive assistant. Declan Doyle is getting his shot at play calling. Eddie Faulkner has joined the staff as running backs coach after molding backs like Najee Harris and Jalen Warren into serious threats. This isn't a rebuild, it's a recalibration, a sharpening of the sword. And for this new regime to truly succeed, they'll need their best soldiers on the field, especially ones like Madubuike. Losing a player of his caliber, mentally or physically, would undercut all of this progress, which is why every tweet he drops is dissected like scripture. And speaking of just getting started, if Nnamdi Madubuike is indeed preparing for a return, it couldn't come at a more crucial time. Let's zoom out and look at the full picture here, because this isn't just about one man. This is about momentum. The Ravens are building something, and if we're being honest, it feels different. It feels like we're on the edge of something special. The kind of shift that only happens when the right players, the right coaches, and the right energy all collide at once. Jesse Minter isn't just filling out a staff. He's making chess moves, and those moves don't make sense without the full board. Madubuike isn't a pawn, he's a pillar, a foundational piece. He's the kind of player who can disrupt not just an offensive line, but an entire game plan. And Minter knows it. That's why, even though we haven't heard anything officially, there's no doubt this coaching staff is moving like they expect Matabike to be back. Like they're preparing with him in mind. Think about it. If Matabike was leaning toward retirement, why tweet good news? Why add that second tweet about choosing pain, either quitting or pushing forward? That's not what retirement sounds like. That's a warrior's mindset. That's someone who's been through it and is finding a way to fight through. Whether it's a long rehab, a complicated injury, or even mental battles, he's clearly in the thick of something, but he's choosing to keep moving. And that tweet, they both hurt. That's a powerful message. Because coming back from an injury, especially one involving the neck, is no joke. It takes more than physical strength. It takes willpower. It takes trust in your body again. It takes courage. And for Matabike to even be speaking publicly like this tells us he's engaged. He's not vanishing. He's not pulling away. He's talking to us. Ravens flock. He's letting us know he's still here. Now let's talk about what it would mean for this defense if Matabike is back. This is a defensive unit that was already top tier when healthy, but we all saw the wheels start to shake once injuries piled up. No real edge threat. Struggles in closing games. Interior pressure? Gone. It's no coincidence that once Matabike went down, things got harder. He was the motor inside. He created opportunities for guys like Kyle Van Noy and Roquan Smith to feast. Without him, offenses just slid protections outward. No one had to worry about the middle. And that created a ripple effect that killed our pressure and exposed our corners. Add to that the fact that Baltimore's front office has been aggressive this offseason, restructuring, repositioning, and reloading the coaching staff, you start to see a pattern. They're going all in on 2026. And that means the expectation internally has to be that they'll have their top defensive linemen available. The AFC is not getting easier. Patrick Mahomes is still standing at the top. Josh Allen isn't going anywhere. Joe Burrow will be back. And don't even get started on CJ Stroud's rise in Houston. If the Ravens are going to break through, they need to do it now, and with a defense that can dominate. Let's be clear, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers can put points on the board. But points mean nothing if your defense can't hold a lead in January. And if you're a Ravens fan, you know that pain too well. You've seen this team falter late, give up game-sealing drives, miss key tackles, collapse under pressure. What's the common denominator in those moments? Lack of pressure. No push from the interior. No force in the trenches. And that's exactly why Matabike's presence is irreplaceable. He's not a luxury. He's a necessity. He's the anchor of this line. His motor doesn't stop, and his impact spreads far beyond his stat sheet. You feel his presence. Offenses fear his presence. And without it, everything else gets harder. So, when he drops messages like the ones we've seen this week, they hit differently. They're not just tweets. They're signals. They're lifelines for a fan base waiting for hope. Because deep down, we all know this Ravens team with Matabike on the field, it's dangerous. Like, championship dangerous. Let's not forget, before his injury, there were moments this past season where he looked like the best player on the defense. Period. Not just among the linemen, asterisk on the entire unit star. And if he's even close to returning to that form, Minter and Weaver are going to have a weapon most teams dream about. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Nothing is official. There's been no press release, no medical clearance, no announcement. But what we do have is a man talking directly to the fans, saying just enough to keep hope alive. And you know what? Maybe that's the smartest thing he could do right now. Let the fan base buzz. Let the excitement build. Let the NFL world wonder what's coming next. Because when the day does come that he steps back onto that field in purple and black, M&T Bank Stadium is going to erupt. So here's the question we have to ask now. What would a fully healthy Matabike mean for the Ravens in 2026? Could this be the missing piece that finally puts them over the hump? Is his return the spark that turns this team from contender to champion? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit that